Welcome back, history enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the life of Oda Nobunaga, one of the most formidable warlords Japan has ever known. A man whose ambition knew no limits. Nobunaga's strategies were as bold and powerful as a thunderstorm. His famous poem, "Like the thunder's roar, I strike with unyielding might, no force can silence," encapsulates his approach to both battle and life. Let us explore how Nobunaga's fierce strategies helped reshape Japan and make him one of the greatest and most fearsome warlords in history. Born in 1534, Oda Nobunaga was the son of a minor lord in the Owari province. At the start of his life, Nobunaga faced a fractured and war-torn Japan, where various clans fought for dominance. But Nobunaga was not content with simply surviving. He sought to dominate, to bring about the unification of Japan under his rule. Nobunaga's ambitions were not merely political. He sought to reshape Japan entirely, both in terms of power and culture. With his fierce intellect and relentless ambition, he began to dismantle the old systems and beliefs, setting the stage for the Tokugawa shogunate. His military strategies were revolutionary, using modern weapons like firearms and innovative tactics to win battles. The poem "Like the thunder's roar, I strike with unyielding might, no force can silence," is more than just a few lines of verse. It is a window into the very soul of Oda Nobunaga. Like thunder, he made his presence known in the most dramatic way possible. His military campaigns were not only brutal, but also decisive, ensuring that no force could stand in his way for long. Nobunaga's famous victory at the Battle of Okahazama in 1560 perfectly embodies this spirit. Despite being vastly outnumbered by the forces of the Imagawa clan, Nobunaga struck like thunder, with such ferocity and precision that his enemies were utterly taken by surprise. His forces, though smaller, broke through the opposition, turning what seemed like a sure defeat into a triumph that solidified his reputation as an unstoppable force in Japan's war-torn landscape. This ability to strike swiftly and decisively, coupled with his innovative use of new technology like firearms, ensured that Nobunaga's roar was heard across the battlefield, shaking even the mightiest of foes. What set Nobunaga apart from other warlords was not only his ambition but his strategic brilliance. He was a man who understood that victory did not come from brute force alone. He also understood the value of psychological warfare, of outsmarting his enemies, and of playing the long game. Take, for example, his defeat of the Takeda clan. The Takeda, led by the formidable Takeda Shingen, were known for their cavalry. But Nobunaga, knowing that he could not match their cavalry in a direct fight, instead used deceptive tactics to lure Takeda forces into a trap. He exploited the terrain, outmaneuvered his opponents, and when the time was right, struck swiftly and decisively. Nobunaga's understanding of warfare went beyond the battlefield. He reshaped Japan's political landscape, often using alliances and economic control to further his goals. His innovations in military tactics and strategies set the stage for the eventual unification of Japan under the Tokugawa shogunate. Despite his eventual assassination in 1582 at the hands of his vassal, Akechimitsu Hide, Oda Nobunaga's legacy endures. His ambition and drive set in motion a series of events that eventually led to the unification of Japan, an achievement realized by his successors, especially Toyotomi Hideyoshi and Tokugawa Ieyasu. But Nobunaga's influence extends beyond his military conquests. His bold decisions to embrace firearms, encourage trade, and support the arts helped shape a new era in Japan. Nobunaga was a man ahead of his time, someone who struck with unyielding might, like thunder, and left a lasting imprint on the nation. Nobunaga's poem is not just a reflection of his leadership, but also a representation of his character. It speaks to his unyielding will and indomitable spirit, qualities that allowed him to carve out a legacy in one of the most volatile times in Japanese history. Like thunder, his actions were swift and unrelenting, and his influence was undeniable. When we think of Oda Nobunaga, we think of a man who never backed down, who never hesitated, and who, like thunder, made sure that the world heard his roar. His journey reminds us that true power comes not just from military might, but from the courage to forge ahead, regardless of the obstacles in one's way. Oda Nobunaga's story is one of fierce ambition, unyielding might, and lasting impact. His thunderous roar still echoes in the annals of history, a symbol of a man who would not be silenced by any force. Nobunaga's tale is a reminder that, Greatness is often built through bold decisions and strategic brilliance, as well as the relentless pursuit of one's vision. Thank you for joining us as we explored the life of one of Japan's most legendary figures, Oda Nobunaga. If you enjoyed this story of power, ambition, and unyielding strength, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more legendary tales from Japanese history. Until next time, remember, like thunder, let your roar be heard.